Hi, welcome to Summertime Fine. I'm your host Kamila McDonald, and today's workout is called Baby Got Back, and we are working on your booty, right? Because everybody want to work on their booty. I'm about to talk about 5 tips that I think you should incorporate in your training, which we'll be doing anyway in this series. But even beyond this, I just always want you to keep these 5 tips in mind. Tip number 1. You have to incorporate so much more than cardio if you want to build up them. I'm specifically speaking about weight training. Weight training is super important, especially when we're talking about training your glutes. So think squats, think lunges of various different types and variations. Tip number 2 is that we're gonna vary those exercises. So once you're incorporating the weight training, we cannot be doing the same types of weight training over and over and over. So basically our glutes are comprised of 2 different types of muscles. There's the fast twitch muscles, there are the slow twitch muscles, and they adapt and respond to different kind of training differently. So tip number 3 is to make sure that you are not resting too often or for too long in between sets while you're working out. Basically our muscles will not lift and become firmer if we are not working it to fatigue. And so, you know, some people might have the habit of like doing a selfie in between your sets and talking and all of those things. That's very ineffective and it's not going to get you the results that you need. So don't rest more than, I would say, 30 seconds to 1 minute in between each set or rep. And, you know, just kind of keep working that muscle to fatigue. You know, that's where the real work is happening. Tip number 4 is make sure that you're progressing with your weight. So in exercise science, we call it progressive overload, and that simply means over time increasing the amount of weight bearing that you're doing. So let's say, for example, you started out with a 10 pair dumbbell, or in our case, 2 1.5 liter bottles of water as your weights. Then you're going to want to move on to 5 liters eventually. Let's say every 2 to 3 weeks and no more than 4 weeks at a time. After that, move on to the next set of weights that is going to challenge you and, you know, just kind of give you the benefits of progressive overload. And tip number 5 is actually to embrace the burn. You know, that leg day, the day after leg day where your muscles are sore, you know, that's just a telltale sign that you are doing the work, that you really push yourself to the limit and that it's working what you're doing. You know, what happens is that when we are weight bearing or weight training, we have small muscle fiber tears, and that really is where the progress will come into place, right? So embrace that day after soreness. It just means that you've put in the work, you know, allow yourself to rest, perhaps move on to another muscle group the day after that, and then come back again with a heavier and a stronger weight. Start from a standing position, holding 2 1.5 liter bottles of water, and step your left leg behind you and to the right so your thighs cross, bending both knees as if you were curtsying. Make sure your front knee is aligned with your front ankle. Return to the standing position and then switch sides immediately. Holding the 5 liter bottle, I want you to keep your arms straight and your knees slightly bent. Slowly lower the bottle, making sure to bend at your hips, so don't bend with the waist. And I want you to squeeze your glutes to pull yourself up and keep it squeezed as you raised up, and then immediately lower into a squat. I want you to flex your feet. Then, keeping the knee bent close to a 90-degree angle, I want you to kick your leg back and drive the heel upwards to the ceiling. Don't let the low back arch, and make sure that you draw your belly button in towards your spine. So just keep your abs tight. This move begins with the forward lunge. I want you to engage your core and take a large step forward with the right foot, lowering into a lunge until both knees form a 90-degree angle. Keep your chest up and make sure your knees do not move past your toes too far. And then with the same leg, step up immediately from the front lunge into a squat. So I want you to lie on your mat, on your back with your knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Place the 5 liter bottle of water on your thighs. Raise your hips up to the ceiling, tensing your abs and squeezing in your butt. And as you do so, I want to make sure that your spine doesn't round, right? So always keep your abs and your butt muscles engaged. And then lower down to the ground. And this is considered 1 rep. And there you have it. Baby got back with my top 5 booty building exercises. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you soon.